Welcome to Assignment 4, Identifying Syntactic Category Screencast. I am Shauna Chelich, and I'll guide you through this screencast. First of all, we're going to look at the tools of linguistic analysis. These tools are used as support for the identification of syntactic category. You have to look at syntax. You also want to try doing a substitution test. We want to look at morphology, and we also want to consider semantics when trying to analyze the syntactic category of a word. The first word that we wanted to identify in this assignment was exigencies. And the sentence is, the demands of life in a busy, complicated society and the exigencies of a complicated legal code can crowd out compassion. Two of the tools that I used for identification were substitution and morphology. I tried substituting the word exigencies with urgent needs or demands, and the sentence still made sense. I also tried using morphology, which worked because I looked at the adjective exigent, which means pressing or demanding. I added the affix cy, and it becomes a noun by adding cies, and it becomes a plural noun. Identifying the verb thwart. Used in the sentence, irrational human passion and prejudices can thwart justice and fairness. I used two tools for identification. I tried substitution, and I also looked at syntax. I tried substituting the verb thwart with other verbs such as impair or prevent, and the sentence still made sense to me. I also looked at the syntax. The common noun-verb word order is being used. Since the word thwart is preceded by the two nouns passion and prejudice, it seemed logical to me that it would be a verb. Identifying the preposition through. The sample sentence here is, Holt got the bill through the Judiciary Committee. I used substitution and syntax for identifying this word. I did not use morphology because there are no affixes that I could attach to this word to change the meanings. That didn't work. However, when I used substitution, when I chose to or in front of, they still made sense. So, for example, Holt got the bill to the Judiciary Committee, or Holt got the bill in front of the Judiciary Committee. That still seemed to work for me. Also, syntax, following the subject, verb, object, word order, Judiciary Committee acts as an object. Since the word bill is the direct object, then Judiciary Committee must act either as an indirect object or the object of the preposition, making through a preposition. The determiner our being used in this sentence. The people of the United States and our government have an odd attitude toward immigration and immigrants. That word, our, is going to be identified by using syntax and substitution. Morphology did not work in this case because I could not attach any affixes to this word to create another word. However, syntax works. The logical word order is for determiners to be placed before the noun. Substitution also works. When substituting another possessive adjective in place of our, the sentence still sounds logical. This also works when substituting another determiner such as a or the. For example, the people of the United States and the government, or the people of the United States and a government, have an odd attitude, etc. Identifying the adjective complicated. For example, we'll use the sentence, the demands of life in a busy, complicated society and the exigencies of a complicated legal code can crowd out compassion. Tools for identifying this word are morphology and syntax. Morphology works because the verb phrase to complicate can become an adjective when adding the suffix ed. However, complicated could also be used as a past tense verb. And I put an example here at the bottom. The new information complicated my decision. In which case we must look at syntax to determine the function of this word. So that takes me to syntax. Adjectives are placed before nouns. So in this sentence, the word complicated is being used as an adjective. If it were functioning as a verb, the word complicated would have to be preceded by a noun. A phrasal verb, to crush. This is being used kind of more like as an idiomatic phrase in this sentence. Cruel fate or happenstance threatens to crush hope and opportunity. This is not literally crushing a particular thing or a tangible object. Hope and opportunity are being crushed. And you can't really crush them the way you crush a can or crush a bug. That's a little different. So this is not being used quite in a literal term. However, we can identify this by using substitution. If we substitute the word to crush or the verb phrase to crush with another verb, we can see that it does function as a verb. Then also syntax, usually a verb will follow another verb like threatens. Whenever something is threatening, we might ask, to threaten to do what? Somebody is threatening to do something. So another verb would follow, and that would make sense. Thank you for listening to my screencast, and I hope everybody has a nice day. I look forward to seeing everybody else's and making comments on your work. Thank you.